The establishment media outlets are collapsing. Mass layoffs, bankruptcy, total humiliation. But rather than rattle off some of the statistics myself, I will allow a liberal Washington Post columnist to do it.
The entire journalism industry is basically in a free fall. Today, the Los Angeles Times laid off 115 employees. They wiped out their entire DC bureau in an election year. They laid off pretty much all of their sports teams. They killed their entire tech and business section. They laid off breaking news writers, social media editors. The list goes on. But what's really dark is this is just the latest in months and months and months of layoffs in the media industry. In fact, tens of thousands of journalists have been laid off in the past year. Major media companies like BuzzFeed News have completely shuttered their news operations. Time magazine also just laid off a ton of people, and Sports Illustrated basically shut down last week. Pretty much the entire digital media ecosystem that myself and a lot of other millennial journalists came up in has been completely hollowed out. And it's not just digital media sites. Local news has been obliterated. The newspaper industry is cratering.
Cratering. For reaction, we turn now to me when I first heard this news.
Zippity-yay. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine heading my way. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay.
That was me. It's the truth. It's actual. Everything is satisfactual. Right now, head on over to Woke Tears Water. Are you sick and tired of companies trying to turn you into a lib? Seems like this leftism is everywhere. It's in the air we breathe. It's even in the water we drink. That is why there is a new hydration brand with a mission to save America from the new woke world, one sip at a time. Woke Tears Bottled Water is an American brand that is making hydration great again. Woke Tears Water is a brand of bottled drinking water right here in the United States by people who know what a woman is. While everyone else's water is just water, bleh. Woke Tears Water provides a refreshing gulp of laughter in a world thirsty for sanity. Not only will Woke Tears Water keep you hydrated, but you will always have a conversation starter. If you want to try Woke Tears Water, visit woketearswater.com. Indulge today in laughter and hydration. Two of the most important things in this life. That is woketearswater.com today. Cocaine Mitch McConnell has just held, reportedly, a closed-door session during which we got two very juicy little bits of information. The first one, he says, is we are in a quandary because Trump's campaign is apparently going to be largely focused on immigration. McConnell says the politics here have changed. We can't have infighting on this thing. We don't want to undermine the campaign platform here of Trump. So we're in a real tough spot because this immigration issue is going to be really touchy, and there are squish Republicans like Mitt Romney who don't want to actually fix it. That's the first juicy bit of information. Oh boy, we're in a quandary on immigration here. We got to hold the line a little bit further. But number two, apparently in this conversation, Cocaine Mitch McConnell, Republican leader in the Senate, referred to Trump as the nominee. He says Trump is the nominee of our party for all intents and purposes. And so you might love Trump. You know I really like Trump. I've never made any bones about the fact that I really like the guy. You might hate Trump, as Mitch McConnell certainly does, and as a lot of Republicans do, especially Republican politicians. But it's just a fact that he's the nominee. I said this from the beginning of the primary. I really, really like Trump. I really, really like Ron DeSantis. I'm really impressed by him. Obviously, I've been friends with Vivek for quite some time. I like Nikki Haley personally. I like a lot of these guys, okay? But Trump's going to be the nominee, so that's that. Politics is the art of the real, the art of the possible. All right, it's the art of the second best, as Otto von Bismarck claimed. I'm not saying that Donald Trump is the second best choice here. I'm just saying that politics is about reality. And Trump was always going to be the nominee because we were in this bizarre situation that we haven't seen in over 100 years. So if Mitch McConnell, of all people, can get on board with, okay, it's going to be Trump, then the rest of the GOP probably ought to do that as well. Now, what does that mean in practice? There's a Republican National Committeeman who is proposing right now declaring Trump the presumptive nominee, passing a formal resolution saying we, the Republican National Committee, are going to act as though Trump is the nominee, and Nikki Haley can keep running her campaign, but we are going to just move on and turn to the general election. While I agree with this RNC committeeman's analysis, I don't think this is a good idea. You don't want to make us look like the Democrats here. The Democrats have gone to federal court to defend their right to rig their own election. In the case of this one particular suit, to rig it against Bernie Sanders. And the courts have said, yeah, you have the right to pick, the parties have the right to pick their nominees. We think of it now as a popular election where the people have the right to select the nominees of the parties. That's not true. The parties have the right to select the nominees, but the parties give the people a large say in it, if you're a member of the party. I would let it play out. We've only had 2 states so far, the Iowa caucuses and New Hampshire. Trump has won decisively in both places. Now the number 2 guy from Iowa is out of the race. So it's Trump, the far and away winner of Iowa, versus the number 3 candidate. And then the race was a little bit tighter when it just got down to 2 in New Hampshire. But still, Trump won pretty decisively by 6 or 7 points. And that was Nikki Haley's best shot. Next up is Nevada. She's not even on the ballot there. She's not going to get any delegates. Then after that is South Carolina. Trump's leading her by 30, 40 points there. And then you get to Michigan. Trump is leading by a landslide. And then you haven't even gotten to Super Tuesday yet. I would just let it play out. I understand the desire to say, all right, let's move on. Nothing's going to change here, barring some lightning bolt. So let's go fight Joe Biden. But I just think the primary actually helps Trump. And it helps people who have legitimate problems with Trump and people who have illegitimate problems with Trump get through the grieving process and come to grips with reality, which is that this guy, love him or hate him, is the nominee. And he did a good job when he was elected in 2016, and he exceeded everyone's expectations. And he's going to be the nominee again. And he's certainly the best president of my lifetime. We've had a few Republican presidents in my lifetime. He's by far the best one. And so we're going to come to grips with that as we do it. It's kind of like the lawsuits, or rather the prosecutions. The prosecutions, I think, seem like they hurt Trump, but they actually help him because they make his case before the American people. And I kind of feel that way about the primary. Let the voters see a choice between President Trump and Nikki Haley, who has really embraced the more centrist, moderate establishment lane, and let them have the choice and let them vote as they will. That was, if I do say so myself, a magnificent clip. Now, you got to ring the bell and subscribe, and you'll get all the clips and the full episodes and more, even. See you next time.